Hi folks, I've got a SOLE F85 treadmill I need to lubricate the deck on, and I want to remember how to do it next time, so I'm going to take a video and maybe it'll help you too. So what I got, this is directly by the book. If you want to see my written instructions, you can pause there. That's what I'm doing. It's straight out of the manual, that came with the treadmill, the F85. It recommends every 180 hours of use. Doesn't mention time. I've talked to the guys at SOLE that work there, Shane and Curtis. They're awesome. They recommend every 3 months or 90 hours. So this treadmill hasn't been used much, but it's been over 3 months, and I've already replaced all the parts on it because I didn't have it well lubricated. So I think they're overly cautious. 3 months or 90 hours is well worth it. I bought, it comes with these tubes. Whoops. It comes with these tubes. 1 ounce of lube. Can you see that? Yeah, 1 ounce of lube and a tube. They're kind of pricey. I bought a bottle. This is actually 6 ounces of Lube and Walk. Comes from Lube and Walk, I guess. It's 100% silicone. I don't know if you can see that, but 100% silicone. Just that's what it recommends in the manual, 100% silicone. There's other stuff out there, but make sure you get that. I got it from a company called JAD Fitness out in California, and that's what it is, Lube and Walk refill bottle. Anyway, whatever you use, make sure it's 100% silicone. So again, I'm doing it after only 3 or 4 months. We haven't put nearly 90 miles on it, and it never gets a lot of use. But again, if you let it dry out, I replaced the belt, the deck, the motor, the sensor, and the control panel twice on that. Anyway, so I recommend keeping it lubricated. So what we're going to do, again, right by the book. So it's a 6mm Allen wrench, and the top hole here, what you do is you loosen the belt 5 to 10 turns. I have really big hands, so I'm going to do 10 turns because you need to be able to fit your hand underneath that belt. You might be able to do less if you have smaller hands. Anyway, I start with the, come on, fit in there. I try and start with this straight up. And then I'll do 5 turns to straight up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to make a note that I did 5 on the left side. I'm going to go over to the right side, straight up again, always starting from straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 on the right side. I'm going to go back to the left side and I'm going to do 5 more. I don't know why it's so hard to get that in there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll do one more time over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And that's just so I remember at the end how many times to turn it back, so to get it back to where it was. And remember, evenly on each side. So I did 10 on both sides. That should make the belt very loose, and it is. I can reach my big fat hand under there. And so what they recommend at this point is to wipe this underneath the deck with a nice lint-free cloth to get any dirt away. We haven't used this treadmill again. It's just been time. It hasn't had a lot of use, so it's not dirty under there. So I'm not gonna wipe it because I don't want to wipe off all the silicone that's still under there. I'm just gonna add new silicone. But if you've used it a lot and there's some dirt under there, you'll want to wipe it clean before you put new silicone on. All right, we're gonna apply what would be a whole tube, but actually, again, I got a bottle. This is 6 ounces. So I put little marks on the side of the bottle, 5 marks. I divided it into 5 equal measurements. That'll make, if 6 ounces divided by 5, it'll be a little over an ounce at each mark. So I'm putting a little bit more than what would be in a tube in here. What they recommend, and I marked it out, they recommend 18 inches from the motor cover back to here is where you should put the lubrication. And you should put it not all the way to the edges because your feet aren't at the edges, but right in the center of the belt. So they say about a 12-inch wide line of silicone, about 18 inches back. And I actually marked that with a piece of tape, 18 inches back, and I marked on the belt 12 inches wide right in the center. If you run or you're shorter or taller, your feet might fall farther forward or farther back. You should center this line of silicone where your feet actually land depending on what you're doing. It works about right for me to be 18 inches back, and that's what they recommend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 1/5 of a bottle right in that center spot, 18 inches back. And a little more. Still a little more. That's a lot of silicone. All right, that's pretty good. Simple as that. Now I'm going to tighten. We remember 10 turns. So we'll start on the left side and we'll tighten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 more on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to turn it on, and it should track straight. If it doesn't track straight, it's because I didn't evenly tighten up both sides. So you run it for a minute and watch the belt. If it tracks just fine, it's nice and straight. If it doesn't track just fine, you can go on either side and either turn it to the left or turn it to the right. If it gets worse, you're going the wrong way. If it gets better, turn it until it tracks nice and straight. Once it tracks nice and straight, the last thing you have to do to distribute it is immediately walk, don't run, but walk on the treadmill for at least 5 minutes to equally distribute the lubrication. I'm going to do that right now, and then it's lubricated for another 3 months or 90 days. Thanks. I hope it helped, and God bless.